So huge thanks to joining myself live, as it says. And I know there's a little bit of background noise. I'm here with Thomas Nust, or Knust, and Evan McDonald. So we're here in Hive 162, overcoming challenges as a developer. So this is a nice short video focused on how Evan and how Thomas handle objections or challenges. We were discussing about frameworks, Evan, offline. So do you want to just go into a little bit more detail about how you overcome challenges first?
Yeah, so look, every project has challenges, and the challenges on every product, on every development are different. So on this development we had some issues with the contractor, we had some issues with piling. On our development in Gloucester we've got a number of TPO protected trees, and so we had some issues as to how we could develop around those and work without affecting the root structures. On other developments we've had grade 2 listed buildings, and we've had to work through how we do the development so as not to impact on the historical fabric of the building. So I think every development is different, and you'll come across different challenges on every development, and so you need a framework for dealing with those challenges. And I guess as we have done more, we have a better idea of how to deal with them ourselves, but when we don't, then we rely on a professional team to help us. And the first place that I will generally go when there's a question I don't know the answer to is to my quantity surveyor, because I work with very experienced quantity surveyors. I've worked with a number of them, and the point is that they will have done many projects, and they will have come across that challenge before, and they won't just know how to solve the problem, they'll know the best way to solve it, and that's the key. Because if you're going to develop cost effectively and you're going to produce a good product, you need to know the best way to solve that particular challenge.
Sure. How do you find a good QS?
I go out and interview a number, and then I select the one that I know is experienced.
What's the key question they're answering on that interview?
I think the key question is experience. So what have they done? What projects have they been involved in? Have they done something that's similar to what you're doing, or have they done something ideally that's larger, bigger in scope? So you want to know whether they've seen the sorts of issues you're likely to come across on your project.
I take it, Thomas, in terms of overcoming challenges, you had a huge project in Leicester, famous department store. There were challenges in that. But in general, how do you overcome challenges? Because as a developer, you're always going to have challenges. You know, just coming to see you today, and Rob, you know, it was always like a call centre at the back of the car. You were so busy answering calls and dealing with queries. So how do you overcome challenges?
It's very difficult to know what's coming. As you say, each development is different. You never know what's coming out the woodwork. So we tend to just take things as they come along. The main thing is, with experience, we try and predict what challenges might come, especially things starting before your development starts, your structural drawings, your drawing from the architects, all those things you have to keep checking over and over to make sure that faults don't start coming at that stage of the cycle. And that's all you can do, just try and predict in advance and try and predict what might go wrong.
There's two principles actually that might be worth just thinking about what Thomas has just said. One is, on a new build, the principle is that once you're out of the ground, then most of the rest of it is fairly simple. And that's true, because if you're going to have a problem, the problem's in the ground. The rest, all the new stuff, you know how to build that because there's no surprises. And conversion of an existing building is the same thing. But what you need to do there is you need to strip the building back to its fabric, basically rip everything out of it so you can see what you're working with. And that is the equivalent of a foundation for a new build development. Does that make sense? So really you have to get it back to all the bare bones so you can see what you're working with. Once you know exactly what you're working with, the way forward is much clearer.
Look, we can keep these guys forever, but I think they want lunch, and I certainly am looking forward to some lovely lunch in Hythe, which is a great area. So beautiful restaurants in this neighbourhood. So Thomas, I want to say huge thanks for taking time out today. Huge thanks to Evan as well, and huge thanks for you. And I'd recommend one day of the year to take some time out. 19th of January 2019. Lots of people asking me, am I going to do another one? I think if I said in June I'm doing another one, Evan, I think the phone will go down quite quickly. So the answer is no.
One event a year, and you've got to get there. It's the event of the year.
So thank you, and thank you.